In the bustling village of Ngomani, nestled in the heart of Africa, lived a young girl named Kazi. Kazi was unlike many of her peers, while others were robust and strong. She was slender and fragile. Her frame, delicate and fine, often made her the target of cruel jokes and unkind whispers. From dawn till dusk, the village hummed with activity. Market vendors shouted out their wares, children ran in playful glee, and the elders shared stories under the baobab trees. Yet, amidst this lively tapestry, Kazi often felt like an outcast. Her thinness, which she had no control over, became a source of ridicule. "Look at Kazi," sneered Chuma, a boy known for his boisterous nature. "A strong wind might blow her away." Others would join in, laughing and pointing. Kazi's thinness was a stark contrast to the strong, full-figured villagers who took pride in their hardy appearances. But Kazi had a secret that no one knew. Deep within her, she harbored a talent that was waiting to be unleashed. Every night, when the village fell silent, she would sneak out to the edge of the Ngomani forest. There, surrounded by the whispering leaves and the songs of nocturnal creatures, Kazi danced. Her movements were graceful and fluid, each step a testament to the beauty and strength hidden within her slender frame. She danced with the rhythm of the earth, the sway of the trees, and the heartbeat of the village. In those moments, she felt free, unburdened by the cruel words of others. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over Ngomani, a visitor arrived in the village. His name was Bwana, a renowned choreographer from the distant city of Uhuru. He was known across the land for discovering and nurturing raw talent, turning ordinary people into extraordinary performers. Bwana had come to Ngomani to find dancers for his upcoming show, a celebration of African culture and heritage. The village was abuzz with excitement. Everyone wanted a chance to impress him, to be chosen for the grand performance. Despite the excitement, Kazi felt a pang of uncertainty. The memories of mockery still fresh in her mind, she wondered if she should even try. But deep down, a flicker of hope and determination spurred her on. This was her chance to show the world who she truly was. On the day of the auditions, the village square was packed. Dancers of all ages and sizes lined up, eager to showcase their talents. Bwana watched with a discerning eye, nodding in appreciation or shaking his head in silent rejection. When Kazi's turn came, she felt her heart pound against her chest. Taking a deep breath, she stepped into the clearing, her slender form illuminated by the dappled sunlight. She closed her eyes, letting the rhythm of the drums guide her. As she began to move, the world around her seemed to fade away. Her body flowed like water, her feet barely touching the ground. Each movement told a story, a tale of resilience and grace, of inner strength and beauty. The villagers, who had once mocked her, watched in awe. They had never seen Kazi like this, so powerful and captivating. The whispers of ridicule were replaced with murmurs of admiration. Bwana, too, was mesmerized. He saw in Kazi a unique talent, a dancer who could express the deepest emotions with every flick of her wrist and sway of her hips. When she finished, the silence that followed was filled with anticipation. Finally, Bwana spoke, his voice ringing out across the square. "You," he said, pointing to Kazi, "have a gift that the world needs to see." Kazi's eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of joy and relief. For the first time, she felt truly seen and appreciated. The village, too, began to see her in a new light. They realized that true beauty and strength lay not in the size of one's body, but in the spirit and passion within. But Kazi's journey was just beginning. With Bwana's invitation to join the troupe, she faced a new challenge, leaving her village and stepping into the unknown world beyond Ngomani. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with both promise and peril. Would Kazi find the courage to embrace this opportunity and shine on the grand stage of Uhuru? Could she transform the mockery she once endured into a triumphant dance that would inspire others? Kazi stood at the crossroads of her destiny. The invitation from Bwana to join his troupe was a dream come true, yet it meant leaving everything she knew behind. As the sun set on the village of Ngomani, casting long shadows over the familiar paths, Kazi found herself grappling with uncertainty and fear. That night, she sought solace under the ancient baobab tree, the silent witness to her nightly dances. Its massive trunk seemed to pulse with the wisdom of generations, and Kazi could almost hear it whispering encouragement. Her heart, once filled with doubt, began to steady with resolve. The next morning, Kazi approached Bwana with her answer. "I will join you," she said, her voice strong and clear. "But I will never forget where I come from, and I hope to make my village proud." Bwana smiled, a look of understanding and respect in his eyes. "Ngomani will always be a part of you, Kazi, and your journey will inspire many more than you can imagine." With a heavy heart and a hopeful spirit, Kazi bid farewell to her family and friends. The villagers, who had once mocked her, now gathered to see her off, their faces filled with pride and encouragement. Chuma, the boy who had been the harshest, stepped forward and handed her a small, carved amulet. "For luck," he said awkwardly, avoiding her gaze. "And I'm sorry." Kazi accepted the amulet with a gentle smile. "Thank you, Chuma, and I forgive you." The journey to Uhuru was long and arduous, but Kazi's spirit remained unyielding. As the troupe traveled across the diverse landscapes of Africa, she absorbed the sights and sounds, each new experience adding depth to her soul and grace to her movements. Bwana's guidance was patient and profound, pushing her beyond her limits while nurturing her unique style. In the bustling city of Uhuru, preparations for the grand show were in full swing. The stage was set, the costumes were vibrant, and the anticipation was palpable. The city buzzed with excitement as people from all corners of the land gathered to witness the spectacle. On the night of the performance, Kazi stood backstage, her heart racing with a mix of anxiety and exhilaration. The lights dimmed, and the crowd hushed in anticipation. She could hear the faint beat of the drums, the rhythm that had always been her companion. Bwana approached her, placing a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Remember, Kazi, dance not just with your body, but with your heart. Show them the spirit of Ngomani." As the music swelled, Kazi stepped onto the stage. The world seemed to blur around her as she began to move, her slender form weaving a story of strength, beauty, and resilience. The audience watched in rapt silence, captivated by her grace and the raw emotion she conveyed through every motion. In that moment, Kazi was no longer just a girl from Ngomani. She was a force of nature, a beacon of hope and inspiration. The ridicule and rejection she had faced seemed distant and inconsequential, overshadowed by the light of her triumph. When the final note faded and the last echo of her dance hung in the air, there was a heartbeat of silence. Then, the crowd erupted into applause, the sound rising like a wave and crashing over the stage. Kazi stood there, breathless and overwhelmed, as tears of joy streamed down her cheeks. Bwana joined her on stage, his face beaming with pride. "This is only the beginning, Kazi," he said. "The world has seen your talent, and now it will hear your story." As Kazi looked out over the cheering crowd, she knew that her journey had come full circle. She had faced the shadows of doubt and emerged into the light of recognition and love. Her thinness, once a source of mockery, had become a symbol of her unique beauty and strength. But more importantly, she had found her voice and her place in the world. With Bwana and the troop by her side, and the spirit of Ngomani in her heart, Kazi was ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. Back in the village of Ngomani, her story became a legend. Children grew up hearing about Kazi, the girl who had turned ridicule into reverence, and they found strength in her tale. The baobab tree stood tall and silent, its branches reaching for the sky, as if honoring the spirit of the girl who had once danced beneath its shade. And Kazi, she continued to dance, her journey a testament to the power of resilience and the beauty that lies within every soul.